I guess the start at the very beginning with Jericho Paintball Ministries was working as the youth co-leader at Yelm First Baptist, and we had a bunch of kids who we just decided, hey, let's go out paintballing. Probably about 2-3 times into it, we realized this is just prohibitively expensive. Kevin goes, well, we'll just come out and play on my property.
We started out with basically nothing.
Just really praying that God would open some doors for us, and started purchasing paintball guns and equipment, got some air tanks, and Kevin just poured his heart into this ministry, and God opened a huge door through what he was willing to do.
Believing and stepping out in faith that God will do things through us into the community. Our main goal is to plant seed into the youth of our community.
We knew that it was going to be important that no matter what we did, we didn't water down the word. We didn't turn this into just a social gathering for people to come out and recreate. It had to stay firmly rooted in the gospel. And so one of the commitments that we have is every time we come out, we have a message every day, no matter what. Rain or shine, we play, so rain or shine, we also preach the gospel.
Kind of got started in this with, I think back before we were even called Jericho, it was just a couple of guys and just kind of hanging out and having fun, and everyone just was like, you know, hey, let's go out paintballing sometime, and it was just kind of like, all right, cool, let's go. And after a couple months, Steele kind of came up and he was like, you know, I think God wants us to do a little more with this and maybe expand a little more. And I remember just a couple weeks later, he kind of approached the group and he's like, all right, I want to try something different, I want to try something new. I'm gonna share a message, and we all just kind of sat around and Steele shared his message, and this is kind of how things got started. Ended up doing an overnight paintball, and invited all of our friends, and just got, I don't know, maybe 30 people who kind of just showed up, and we just saw paintball, and Steele shared a message, and I think that's one of the cooler things about this is there's such a focus on friendship and on growth, and you know, whether that's growth as an individual or growth as a group or as an organization. And you know, there's such an acceptance and an openness that it's kind of hard to ignore. It's kind of hard, you know, not to come back, especially for me. Like, you know, I got involved in work and kind of been away for a while, and now as work and my schedule's kind of freeing up a little bit, I'm able to come back a little more and spend time, and it's just been kind of a smooth transition because I mean, it's just the focus is still the same. The focus is still on that friendship aspect, on that support and that encouragement, and just kind of growing in God together. And I mean, it's kind of one of the best things about this.
Jericho Paintball Ministries is actually a really big part of my life. I started out back in April of 2009, where my friend Matt asked me to come play paintball with him. He had been asking me for a while, but I was just turned him down because I didn't really feel like getting shot at. And you know, he just told me that it was with his church and that it was a lot of fun, and eventually one day I was like, okay, I'll go. And I came out and I got to meet Kevin and Steele, and you know, they were just these warm, caring, you know, fun people, and you know, that stuck with me, and I kept coming out for a long time because it was so much fun hearing the messages and hearing what they had to say about God, you know, and hearing all those testimonies. It really, you know, stuck with me. And then shortly after that, it was in the summer, I just stopped coming one day, and I didn't go back. And there was a point in my life where I started coming too close to making really bad decisions, and I just told Matt, because he stopped going too, that we should just, you know, get back and go to Jericho paintball again. And so we did, and it really just changed my life, and I didn't make those decisions, and I had, you know, something constructive and something that I really cared about. You know, Kevin and Steele just welcomed me back, and Matt, with open arms, and hearing those testimonies and hearing what they have to say, it just, you know, it's probably one of the greatest things in the world, because Jericho has the power to change people's lives, and I've seen it because it's changed mine, and I definitely don't know what I'd do without this place. And you know, I just know I can come to Kevin and Steele for anything and not have to worry about being judged. And I love them, and I love this place, and I will forever hold them in my heart.
There's really nothing that God can't do at this point.
We have a full netted field. We host full-on paintball tournaments, which allows us to get out into the community and advertise. And let them know that, you know, being a Christian is cool. So tell you what, you guys need to come check us out here at Jericho Paintball Ministries.
See you next week.